everyone, welcome back to Special Interests with Bob and Donna. For those of you who have visited us before, welcome back, as I say, and for people who are new to our channel, Special Interests with Bob and Donna, we welcome you and we hope you enjoy what we do. Just to let you know who we are, my career was with the New York City Board of Education for 32 years, and I've since retired and enjoy retirement here out on Long Island where we live. And Bob is an award-winning outdoors writer and crime thriller novelist. He is a member of the Outdoor Writers Association of America, the New York State Outdoor Writers Association of America, and we are both proud members of two clubs. Rod and Gun clubs.
Trumansburg?
One is in Trumansburg, which is in central New York, and one is in Newfield in central New York. Because our son has a house up there, so we kind of take advantage of that when we can. Bob is the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award for his fiction and nonfiction from Who's Who in America, so we're very proud of that. And you can also visit Bob on his website. It's robertbanfelder.com.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So today we have a lot of paraphernalia out here, and for those of you who are knife enthusiasts, you're going to find this very, very interesting. So this is Bob's thing, so I'm going to go behind the camera, and he'll continue in a moment.
Donna, thank you for that introduction. We're going to open with CRKT, a CRKT tool. We left off last time one of the videos covering the hunter knife put out by CRKT, which stands for Columbia River Knife and Tool. And this is the tool. I'll refer to this as a tool caddy because it keeps everything together nice and neat in a caddy. Okay? And it's called the Twist and Fix. It's a Glasgow design. And manufacturer's retail is $19.99. But we'll see how invaluable this tool is referencing your CRKT knives. All right? So, what I'm going to do is we covered this knife on one of our other videos, and I had a little bit of an issue, not really an issue, just this was after being in my pocket, this folding knife being in my pocket for many, many, many months. The thumb disc on top became a little loose. So I looked for the tool. What screwdriver, if you will, fits into this? We know of the slotted screwdrivers, we know of the Phillips head, and we know of hex. Nothing's going to fit this but a Torx, T-O-R-X tool. And that's what these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heads, bits, one of these will work on this accented, brass accented thumb disc. Not only that, let me close this up before. If I want to change the clip, okay, that would clip into my pocket, I would need one of these tools to remove this and put this on the other side in this slot. You're focusing in on this? You've got this, Donna? Okay. The way it came is the way I like it. I have no need to do that. But that tool will absolutely take care of, or I should say virtually everything. I haven't come across anything that I can't tighten or take off or whatever. It'll take care of my two knives from the company. This being the Hunter model in camo, Realtree camo, and this being the Avant. Okay? Thank you, Donna. So, what I'm going to do is take these out. These snap out. But before I do that, let me show you, let's say I want this size one. I tried this, it doesn't fit into a screw. This one, I can hold this together and quickly make my adjustment. But let's say that the space is tight and this is a bit cumbersome. These snap out. And what I'm going to do is take these all out, and we'll see what sizes we're dealing with here. And they fit in snugly. So now I'll move this back here a bit. What I did was I put an A on here for my Avant. I immediately can identify the tool that I need for the Avant, and that being for the, again, the thumb disc, and for the clip, pocket clip, okay? These range from Torx, a T5, a T6, a T7, a T8, a T9, and a T10. Okay? You with me so far? Good. All right. Now, I need a T6 for the Avant. And they are numbered, lettered and numbered here, but it is very difficult to see. As a matter of fact, just to make sure that everything was copacetic, I had to use a magnifying glass. The camera won't even pick up on this, I don't think. But I know which tool is which now, and I'll show you a simple way of doing it. Obviously, this is the largest bit, okay? So, it's a T10, because we go, with this set, we go from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 6 bits, 6 heads. These Torx start at T3, I believe that's the smallest, and they go a bit higher than a T10. But for the tools that we need for the knives that I just mentioned, the Hunter and the Avant, this covers the Homefront. This covers the whole ball of wax. But you would think if this is a T10, this would be maybe a 9, but that's not the way it works. So I just wrote a little chart out here for myself. A T10 is coupled to a T9, okay? So this would be the T9, this would be the T10. Easy to spot because it is the biggest. Conversely, I go to something small, the smallest ones, and the smaller one, this would be a T5. If I put the magnifying glass on there, it would confirm that. And that's hooked up with a T8. This little diagram here helps me, helped me initially. Now I just know this by heart. And if you want to kind of play around in the middle, an upside down 6 is a 9, an upside down 9 is a 6, so that's what you're dealing with here. The bigger one would be the T9, and the smaller one on that arm there would be a T6. So it's a handy little tool, and again, $19.99 MSRP, manufactured, suggested retail. What are you?
Line them up.
Line them up? Okay. No hand signals. I can't read hand signals or smoke signals. Just
Okay.
spit it out.
Okay.
All right. And let me just do it this way so you can see what I did. Now, Donna, print this out. What is a neat machine? I just want to mention that. What is the machine that we use to make these numbers and letters? Do you recall?
It's a Brother label maker.
And it's just such a handy thing. I use it on many different things. But I figured if I just put it on the one that I use the most with an A for my Avant, you know, I can quickly tell what I'm dealing with here. And it really isn't necessary. You could simply play until you find that, okay, let's say I used the other 1, 2, 3, 4 and it didn't work. Process of elimination. I put this in here and I can feel this now. It's going to grab very, very tight right now. I can loosen it, which I don't want to play around with right now. But that's how you would remove the clip. And you need the Torx 6 for that. Okay? So, now the last time when we did these videos on the 2 CRKT knives, we took apart this very neat guy here, which is what I'm going to do again, and it comes with instructions. I know this by heart at this point, but I just want to show you, following the instructions, step by step, how easy it is. It says, take apart. Okay, and so what we're going to do is, with knife in a closed position, push the lever up. Here's the knife in the closed position, and we're going to push this lever up. Okay, and now there's a wheel back here that you turn clockwise. It looks like it's part of this bar, but it's not. The bar goes down to here, there's a space, and here's the wheel they're talking about. And I'm going to turn this, and you can maybe, the camera can pick up and see that this is opening. Mm-hmm. This is becoming wider here, okay? So I open that up all the way, and guess what? I have my knife taken apart. Okay. Now, why this is so handy, I can't tell you the numerous times I use this knife to open cartons and just numerous jobs. In the field, when you eviscerate the cavity of a deer, you know the mess that you're going to have. Let's say you do some skinning on top of that. And then let's say you do some light butchering with this blade. You're going to have a mess. You're really going to have a mess. So if you were at stream side or something, or a pond, if you had access to water, you could just get the bulk of the mess out of there. Or wait till you get home and then clean this up and protect it with a little mineral oil, whatever. But what we didn't do last time, we talked about it, but we're going to take a look and see, after numerous uses, the blade, of course, is going to need a bit of sharpening. We're not talking about major sharpening here. We're going to do something light. Okay, so in another video, and Donna's going to put up all these videos, our sites, and you can go to this. This is one of our favorite knife sharpening systems, and
Which is?
the Wicked Edge WE 30,
One.
130, WE 130 model. Then Donna's right on top of this, right? You know all
Yeah.
this stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go over here, dig out my chart, which I recorded exactly what I have to do. And now you don't have to home in on this. I don't want to, bog them down. Okay, so here's my CRKT Homefront Hunter information. It tells me that I have to start this in at the top, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to take this, wrong one here, and I'm going to place this in here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this out so it'll be a little clearer. And that's going to be, in essence, a shelf for this blade. Now, what I want to do, I want to be in the center. I want to be in the center of this blade when I place it. I want to place it in the center. And the specs from the company, the blade length is 3.427. Okay? And we'll round that off. We don't have to be crazy. We don't have to be precise. We're going to round that off to 3.5 inches. So if we divide it 3.5 inches by 2, I want to make a mark on this blade to divide this in half. So that would be approximately 1 3/4. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let's see, take my ruler here, and we'll go 1 3/4. So there's 1, 1.5, 1 3/4. Right, Donna? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you can help me out here. Do we have the black marking pen here? Okay, you're holding the camera, so I have to do this, obviously. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go in 1 3/4, and I'm going to make a mark near the top there. Okay, and what I can do, yeah, that's going to be fine. So that's basically it. Now, you might say, well, this doesn't look the same distance, but it is, because if I was to do this from this mark to the paper here, that's going to be half of this 1 3/4. So what I'm going to do now is to place this in here, and that's pretty good.
A little back further.
A little back further. All right, boss. And I want to get this not like this, but I want to get this as level as I can. How does that look, Donna? Mm-hmm. Pretty good? Mm-hmm. Now what I'm going to do is just bring this down and lock this blade in here. Get this out of harm's way. And if this knife blade needed severe sharpening, I would go back here and I would start with a 100 grit diamond stone. Very, very rough. You can almost see how rough it is. Okay? If it was in severe need of sharpening. And then I would go to a 200. So let's pretend that it needs real serious sharpening. I put one of the rods on here, and I put a rod on here, 100 being the lowest one. Got to take this out. And I would start, which I'm not going to do because I'd be, you know, really starting from scratch here. We don't need to do that. And I would simply use a forward motion and I would sharpen this blade. Okay. In a moment, you'll see I'll actually go up against the blade, but I don't want to use a 100 or 200 where all we're going to do is touch up this blade. That's all it needs. After a deer and a turkey and many boxes and just so many uses, it still just needed a touch up. And now we'll go to the 400 and we'll work our way up to a 600 grit. And always on this machine, always check that the arm are on here tight, that you're locked in at the correct degree angle, which my sheet tells me I should be at 17. So Donna, either here with the camera or here wherever you can get in, maybe I'll move these out of your way. You can see that we have, this would be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, and it's locked in here, and the same on the other side.
And they have the dents to make sure they're in
Detents.
there. Detents?
Detents are little indentations that lock in. It's self-centering. So if I was in between, say, 17 and on the way up to 18, it was kind of like in the middle. As I tighten this, it just falls and locks into place. Okay? Again, this is the Wicked Edge, manually operated angle sharpening system. So I'm going to pretend 400. Work our way up to 600. You don't take them off, you switch over. You can see I have 400 one side, 600 on the other. Okay. Take these off. And now we're going to move to 800. Okay. Now, when I started to touch this up after several months, how long have I had this now? I say several months, at least maybe 5 months, four or five months of constant use. Both of these knives, you know, it needs a bit of touch-up, not major sharpening, just a bit of touch-up. So here's where I really started. I didn't use these other stones. It wasn't necessary. I went with the 800, maybe 10 times. Okay, and that kind of a motion. Switched over to 1,000. Maybe another 10 times. And then I went with the 1,500. The stones that the honing stones that I've mentioned so far, when you get the kit initially, you get 4 of the stones, which is 8 sharpening surfaces. When you start to get into the finer 1,500, you upgrade and you can purchase other stones. This might suffice for most, up to 1,000, but I like to get from a sharp knife to a scary sharp knife. That's what I want for the work that I do in the field. So, 1,500. Okay. maybe 5 times, not necessary. If you
Yeah,
want to
right
do
now,
that
you're
very,
not doing anything to the knife, you're not sharpening the knife. Yeah.
not literally sharpen,
Yeah.
no, I said I'm not going, I don't want to, ruin the work that I've done on this. So now I'm going to go over to fine. And what this fine stone is here is really a blank stone. And you order micron tapes. And you simply peel them off and adhere this strip to your blank tape, micron 6, and you can see it's starting to wear a little bit. I'll probably be changing this soon. Okay, I simply peel it off and put on a new one. All right, and what this really does at this point, you're still sharpening with the 1500, but with this tape, this micron 6 tape, what you're actually doing is polishing what you honed, and you wind up with a mirror-like finish. Okay, now I said that I would put this here, and this is, I'll go make a couple of passes here. 1, 2, okay, that's what I did. Get that mirror-like finish on here. Now, my angle, again, says 15, 16, 17. This I bought separately. The company suggests that you get a digital angle gauge. And in the brochure, they do mention one. And I've been through several of these over the years with other knife sharpening systems. This is the best one I find for the money. So let's put this down here. I'm going to turn it on. And we've got 1.0. It's jumping around here. So now I'm going to line this out. Okay, you saw the line going across. And we got 0.2. Okay, what I'm going to do now is let's see what angle this tells us we have. We should be around this 15, 16, 17. Okay, 16, 3, 16, 5, 9. Okay, close enough, good enough. Shut this off. We've confirmed the angle. Now let's say you receive a knife. You purchase a knife, you receive it, and the brochure, the instructions, don't tell you what angle. I'll be doing another video soon where we'll be looking at some very serious knives that you don't really know what degree to sharpen at. So what you do is you take your magic marker, and in the middle, you could just get an idea in the middle, and then later on you confirm it just by blackening in, which I'm not going to do now, but just picture it. You saw me make the mark here. I'm going to blacken this bevel. I'm going to blacken the apex of this blade. Okay? And let's say I'm back here at 20 or 21, which I sharpen a lot of blades at that. It's not going to remove that black until I work up to, on this blade, the 17-degree mark. And you will see how neatly that will come off. Now you know. Now you know that that's the angle. The company didn't tell you. And you might even run into something like this. A lot of these knives are hand sharpened, not by machine, they're hand sharpened. And maybe this bevel will be a degree or 2 or 3 from this bevel. So if you want to keep it the way you got it from the company, nice and sharp the way it came, fine. I don't suggest doing this starting out, but if you want to really get anal, it'd be nice to have 17 on this side and 17 on that side when maybe it's calling for, something other than that. You can reprofile this one side. It takes some time. I wouldn't do it in one session. Just over a period of time as you're sharpening, you can do that, work this side up. But I don't suggest that for everyone. It's for those who, you know, you've had some experience, you know what you're doing. That's something to keep in mind. So, we're going to put this back together. Simply lift this lever up here, take out the blade, and let's see how easy this is to put back together again. Okay? It tells us, take apart, reassembly. All right? So it tells you to press and hold pivot. I want to get this back in here. This is the pivot. So I put this in here. You can see how nicely it fits in there. See? And I'm pressing down here, but press and hold when I get this on. Let's see. Rotate wheel the other way. We went clockwise. Now we're going to go counterclockwise. So I want to get this in here. And you can see that I want to get this in a hole here. That's all you do. Okay, let's see. And let's see if she starts going in. Very nice, very nice. Now let's see, maybe I made it too tight. I got to come down on the lever. She's fine. And now I want to throw this blade out. Now, you saw I gave a little bit of oomph to this,
Okay,
okay?
do that again because
I gave a little bit of oomph, but let's say I'm not going to give as much oomph. This blade is just going to open partially, like this. I can go like that, okay? But let's just jump over to the other blade for a moment, and without any effort whatsoever, I open this blade. Why does this blade open so much easier than this blade? Donna, can you answer that?
first of all, you got to do it again so I can get it so the people can see. But is there a spring or something in there?
No, no.
I don't know.
Ball bearings.
Oh, ball bearings.
Ball
okay.
bearings is the magic. Very, very easy. Okay? So these are two knives, folding knives, that I absolutely love. I use this as my everyday carry knife. It's a little bit heavier than the Hunter knife.
Which is
this
finished
I
in a
use-
nice camo, by the way.
Right, so this is my hunting, you know, what was I going to say
Tool.
here? Strictly for the hunting and sometimes even
Fishing.
with the fishing and all that. This is a little bit lighter. This is a bit heavier, but I like this heaviness, okay? And I like the fact that these ball bearings assist in opening this knife very, very easily. So, I think that's about all I want to cover here. Keep us in mind, and we're going to be looking at some serious fillet, boning, food preparation knives in the future. And for the grand finale, we'll give it the old paper test, see how sharp these knives truly are. Donna, you want to home in on the first model, well, the two of them, the Homefront Hunter model in real tree camo, and below is the Avant. So let's take the Hunter model first and give this a slice. And we'll go to the Avant, give it a nice slice.
Beautiful.
That's it, folks.